If you really want to understand how you can be more connected to women and others, you must understand this simple truth. You are already connected. It's just, are you settling into it? And settling into it means, are you absence of feeling or totally into feeling? These are the two ends that will mark the truth of, am I connected to women or others? And this means even when you walk up to a woman, even when you're interacting with others, what place are you coming from? Are you coming from the place that's absence of feeling, which is the mind? Are you coming from a place that's absence of feeling? Or are you coming from a place, the heart, which is total feeling? The body, which is total feeling? It's really important that if you're someone who find yourself wanting to have connection, wanting to bring women into your life, I want to connect to women. I want to have women in my experience, and I want to be connected to them. If you're someone who also feels, I want people in my experience. I'm someone who's in this place right now not knowing, and I want to know. I want to be around others. I want to be meshing and feeling and being with people truly. You need to understand that the only way to do that is to already come from the position of this simple truth that you are connected. If you come from this position that I am connected, you'll start to see, how am I connected? People may be feeding you, whoever in your life, may be feeding you that you need to go out there and try to make connections. You need to conjure it up. You need to find the right way to do this and to relate to this and do this. And the moment that you can do all that, then you will have a connection with the person. Because they themselves are juvenile in their understanding of what connection is. Many months ago, I made a video on connection happens when two people are present. I think this is what the video was about. It was something about this in that sense. I can't remember the exact title or what exactly I talked about in that, but I made a video a while back talking about how connection really is. And I'll be sure to put in a link underneath. I'll go find it so I can really see what it's talking about. But it's mainly talking about connection being in the present moment. And this is just something giving you another angle and another chance to see how connection really is and what really happens. Coming back to this, people may bring you in so many different directions about what connection is and how to get it. They may tell you so many different things about when you're out there speaking to a woman, make sure that you ask her these questions. Because if you stay at the surface, she won't be able to give you anything back from that. She won't feel like there's a real connection. Make sure that you talk until you find something that both of you can relate to. After you found what you have related to, now you have a connection. It is juvenile advice. It is very, very juvenile advice. Because even when you do, quote unquote, try to find connection to something that both of you feel like you're connected to, because that's really what it is. When you both find something that is similar, you feel like both of you are connected to something. And through that something, you feel like both of you can have a connection. But you got to realize that connection is not really you two together. That is through something that both of you share. And yes, is this a way for us to be able to find similarities? Yes. Is this a way for us to know that someone else is also interested in something? And can we find that attractive? Yes, because like attracts like. We go, oh, you're also someone who's driven. Oh, you're also someone who cares about your well-being. Oh, you're also someone who cares about others. That's something, yes, that we can find a connection on, but to be connected to someone is very different. To really just be connected to them. There's questions that you can ask, and there's connections that you can make out of that. But that'll just graze the surface of what the connection is really lying underneath. And because you're operating from this position of, I need to just find something so I can connect to her on, you always feel like, yeah, I mean, she was all right, or you either feel like, man, I want to talk to girls, but I just don't know exactly how to have a connection with them. You feel these confusions. And that's simply because you're thinking that you have to create it. That's it. You're thinking that you have to create the connection. So it's stress when you go in there. It's a lot of stress. You walk into a situation and you're already thinking about, how am I going to create something in this situation? And of course, the guys out there who are immature and teaching this will say things like spark attraction and create attraction and things like this. Like, they make it as if you have to go in there and do these things to get this going. Or even with connection, they make it seem like you have to go in there, do these things, find out something, and then you'll have a connection. That is juvenile advice. It really is. To really be connected to someone is to understand that you are already connected. That you are outside going, okay, how do I make a connection with this person? Not knowing that you're already connected to this person. You're feeling like, I'm outside of this and I need to go into this and I need to conjure up something, create something, do this thing or say something so that we both can relate or we both can feel like we are resonating with something. And the two ends that you find yourself in with this is being totally connected or having absence of connection, or being totally in feeling and having absence of feeling. These are the two ends that you feel. So sometimes when you're with people, you feel like, I'm totally connected, I'm totally in feeling. And that's usually somebody you've let close to you in your life. Or maybe you've met a girl and you feel like, I've been able to find a connection with her and I like her. And then you go out there trying to create the same thing that you had with her. And it sticks in your mind like, I remember that girl I had a connection with. Or maybe even in the past, not even a girl you approached. Maybe a girl in the past, like an old lover or an old girlfriend from high school. I remember that connection. And then you latch on to it and you try to go out there and create something that's just like that. Because you remember what it was like to be in total feeling. But now that you move to absence of feeling out of fear, of course, you're trying to figure out, how do I move back to total feeling? And this is when you're out there with women. Maybe you're in intense moments of absence of feeling, but then when you get to total feeling, which is being connected, you go, I want this. I want to continue to replicate this. But then you come back to, fuck, I want connection. How do I get it? And frustration. Because maybe you felt that and the girl flaked. And then you start losing hope in women, or you start losing hope in yourself for this journey. There's so many different things that come out of not knowing about connection truly. Me right now with you, let me tell you this. I'm in total feeling. In total feeling. You being here with me, you're in total feeling. But if you move into absence of feeling, which is the mind, if you want to know, the mind is absence of feeling. If you move into absence of feeling while you're here with me, you're going to miss everything that I'm saying. But if you're courageous enough to move into total feeling, which is being connected to me as I speak to you right now. Because remember, I don't know you. I've never met you. Or maybe I have met you because you coach with me. But probably I've never met you. But you can be totally connected to me right now, which means you can be in total feeling with me. Me being someone who's speaking to you from the heart, I only know how to relate to you from feeling. That's it. My mind is not telling me to say these things. I'm saying these totally from the depth of myself. This is why certain guys just, when they come to my videos, they go, oh, you talk too slow or this and this. It's because in the space that they have the chance to connect to me, they find themselves going up in their head. They can't stay connected to me, so they can't really feel what I'm saying. But if you're someone who's willing to stay connected to me in this moment, this is total feeling. This is the same thing that I want you to take out there into the world when you're meeting people and when you're meeting women. Not this void of feeling, not this feeling of I'm in my mind all the time, because that's what happens. If you want to understand that void of feeling, you have to understand that that is the mind. Like I just told you, that is the mind. And the more you stay up here, the less you will know about what it really means to be here with someone. Connection can only happen when you are here. Totally. When I go meet a woman, I'm not thinking to myself, I want to make a connection with her. That's not rolling through me. Rewind my life some years ago. I believed that I needed to go out there and make connection. I wasn't like I am right now. Rewind my time some years ago. I believed I needed to go out there and make connections and try to figure out what we connect on. And I did it, and I always found it stressful going in there trying to do this, because you get in conversation with the woman and you're trying to figure out the whole time. You're trying to, because you don't know what she's feeling. Maybe she's really open to what you're doing. Maybe she's kind of open, or maybe she's just not open really that much. So at each level, you have things you will feel at each level. And many of the times, she's not going to be this bright, open, oh, hi. That's just like the sometimes. Many of the times, she's going to be in the normal, in the middle of, oh, my name is this, and I do this for work, and this is what I do. And then you go, all right. So you do all these things, but let's get down to what it really is. So what do you do for a living? Or what do you really enjoy doing? Or when you're not at work, what do you like doing on your day off? You try to cut past it like I did. I tried to just cut past it and go, so what is this thing? And because I'm trying to find a connection. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to find a connection, and I wasn't operating from the place that I'm already connected to the woman. And not just the woman, I'm already connected to all, not just the woman. This was the transition for me. Because I was trying it so hard, I was trying to always find a way to make a connection when I'm with a person or in an interaction, because I've learned so many ways to do it. It was blocking me from understanding that. If I really knew back then that I was already connected, it would make everything easier now. Because really, if you really think about it, when you're in front of the girl, yes, you may connect onto something, and that may make you want to talk to that girl more. But it's the way that she's making you feel that's the most important thing. A woman can be like, you know what? I work at McDonald's, and I enjoy hanging out with my friends, and I go to school, and that's all that she feels right now in her life. Like these are the things that she is interested in. And when she's not doing that, maybe she just spends time at home, she watches TV shows and things like this. Like the average girl. This is the average chick. And if it's not this chick, it's the girl who goes to work, she hangs out with her friends, she watches the shows she like watching, and maybe she goes to an event every once in a while. This is the normal chicks out there. That's the majority. But even when you think about the majority, you are connected to even the majority of women. You are. You're connected to them. And with you being connected to the majority like this, as far as like, first of all, you're connected to all, but I'm talking about with you being connected to them, because guys like to say to themselves, if she's not an interesting woman, I don't want to speak to her. But I'm going to tell you something about what interesting really is. You're connected to girls who are average. You are. You're connected to girls who are amazing to you. You are. You're connected to both. There's no separation. Don't get me wrong though. When you meet a girl and she says that I'm interested in this, I'm interested in this, I'm interested in this, and I'm interested in this, great. You feel like this woman has more substance than the woman who says, I hang out with my friends and I go to school and I do this. You feel like these two women are very, very different. And in many ways, they absolutely are. They absolutely are. But let me give you an insight into what interesting actually is. Interesting really is the way she sees the world. Interesting really is the way that she feels differently than every other woman. That's what's going to make a woman interesting to you, really. Because a woman can say to you, I go to the gym, I do ballet, I do this, and that woman be so stressed out in her life because she's doing all these things because she's trying to get away from the fact that she doesn't want to be hurt again. And that's when you have the woman who goes strongly into activities so she can move away from the feeling that she had before, or giving herself away too much as far as feeling. But a guy would go, I want that woman. I want the woman who is doing many things in her life. I want the woman who is not just the one who's going to school and hanging out with friends and going to work and watching TV shows. I want the woman who has things going on and she is aspiring to be something. I'm like, great. You want that woman, but you have to also understand that just because she says she is going after those things doesn't mean that she's an interesting woman to you. It does not mean that. You took interesting to mean that she's doing many things. That's not truly what's going to make you feel like she's interesting. Truly. Your belief is that when a woman is doing many things in her life, when she's aspiring to be something, she's interesting. That's your belief about interesting. To let you know, interesting is the way that she views the world. Interesting is the way that she feels to you. That's what interesting is. She just feels like, I just like being around her. That's what's going to make you want to see her again. That's what's going to make that woman fill you up with energy. If she has this way that she impacts you with the way that she feels, because this is the most important thing when you're interacting with the woman, is the way that she's making you feel. If she's making you feel like, fuck, I want her and I want to be around her, and she also does things in her life, great. That's the one where you go, fuck, she's an interesting woman. But for a woman to really be interesting to you is not the thing that she does that's going to make her interesting. It's the way she's making you feel that's different than other women. That's what it is. It's how, when you're in front of her, the way that she is talking like this and moving like this, that's going to be more important to you. It really is. Now, don't get me wrong. She may be someone who goes, I just don't want to do anything in my life. And you know that's not the girl that you want to end up with in long term, for sure. For sure, that's not the girl you want to end up with long term. But for you to be connected to her, that's based on feeling. It is. And if you are disconnected from feeling in the moment and you're trying to figure out what are the things that's going to make her interesting so I can allow myself to be connected, then you don't understand what connection is. Connection is much different than trying to figure out. It's much, much different than that. It is understanding, like I had to understand through this process, that I'm already connected, but I'm believing that I have to make it. And my idea of what a woman means to be interesting is that she's this and this and this and this. And if she's not any of these things, then we don't have a connection. If she's not doing more in her life, then we don't have a connection. Then I started to see that I've been juvenile in my own thinking, because I've been pulled away in so many directions about what this means. I need to understand what it really means to connect. And this is when I started to see that I was absence of feeling until I found that we both connected to something. Excuse me. Of course, when I would walk up to women, I still, was pulled in by the fact that I appreciated her. I thought she was pretty and things like this. But to really be engaged in my heart, to really be here and engaged with her, I only allowed myself to do that, probably like you, when I found something that we both had a connection on. Instead of already coming in from the position of we're already connected, I was operating from, like almost all guys are, I must go and make a connection. Operating from that. Because guess what? There will be certain girls, and this is me giving you complete insight from my own path. There will be certain girls you will speak to who you will be like, she's driven like I'm driven. And I like the fact that she's driven. You will see that and you'll be like, fuck, this is great. She's driven like me. She may be driven like you, but she may not know how to express herself femininely. She probably don't know how to express herself in a way that's going to turn you on. That's why I tell you that doesn't matter. The things that she does, it does not matter. You both could be driven about something, absolutely. But that's only a plus. The realness of connection is being here with her. The realness of connection is knowing that you're already connected before you go up to her. And this is one of the things that I teach a guy when he comes to me on workshop, is understanding how am I connected before I'm connected. Because he's feeling like, oh, I need to go in there and I need to do these things. I go, no, you're already connected to others. You need to settle into feeling. You need to settle into this moment. Experience this moment. Not through the mind, because if you experience it through the mind, you're going to believe all what your mind is telling you. But if you experience it through the heart, you will see that you're all connected. You're connected to everyone and women. So I'll tell you this. If you want to learn connection, if you want to know what it's all about, you need to make the shift from absence of feeling, which is the mind, to total feeling, which is the heart. This is the shift that's needed to be made. It's the understanding that you're already connected. You just have to settle into it. That's it. And settling into it is just seeing. I'm not interested in telling you how, of course, because I won't. You would have to come see me in some way. But I can tell you right now that if you want connection with women and others, if you don't operate from the simple truth that you're already connected, you will always be pulled by what your mind is telling you about what connection is. You'll already be pulled. Being here with me has taught you a lot. I'm choosing to cut the video at this point simply because, I could go for a very long time, but I'm choosing to cut it now. I'm sorry because I wanted to give you more, but this is all I'm going to give you. You're already connected, and the moment you can move into total feeling, which is the heart, and away from absence of feeling, which is the mind, this is going to have a profound effect of you being with others. My Berlin seminar is coming up, and I still have some spots left. Luckily, I do have some spots left, and if you feel like you want to learn more about yourself or about yourself in relation to women, this is the chance for you. This is only Q&A. So that means that specific to you. And to know more about this, go down in the description box and click the link on the Berlin seminar tickets, and it'll tell you more about that. In the meantime, if you feel like you are interested in one-on-one coaching until my website comes up, because I haven't put out the dates yet, but I do have one-on-one coaching available, email me at tonysolo@theessenceofman.com. I'll put it down in the description box so you can copy and paste that if you need to write me. I have a free Meet to Bedroom series. Everything from the approach to going to the bedroom. Totally free for you. Also down in the description box. Subscribe to my channel so you can continue to follow me. Share this with anyone who you feel needs to hear this. And like I always say, who you are is valuable for that which you want in life and in relation to women. It's just realizing it. I'll talk to you tomorrow.